Hey guys, welcome back. So there is a bunch of updates I want to update you on, and we've got a plant haul because, as you know, garden centers are discounting everything. So I could not resist picking up just a few things. Sorry the lighting's so bad. It's really, really bright out today. It's actually warming up today. We just got past a couple nights of freeze, but I did not get a frost. So um, I must be living in a weird microclimate. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you the first change that has happened. So we got the house painted. It was originally like this minty green color, um, terrible with cream color around the windows and such and the gutters. We went for right now a dark gray around the house for the entire house, around the windows and everything. And then I also did manage to get the front porch painted, stained, and it's a mess right now because I had to pull plants from when we were getting the cold. So I need to get that cleaned up, but I got the surround down there. Those mice are fake, just so we're clear. I'm going in the spring, going to paint the gutters out in a dark brown, which will mimic, I can't show you over there yet, the garage. Promise it looks good, but we are so happy with how this turned out. So it's a little dark from the road. I really wanted a black house, but I just didn't want to take that risk. But I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see the garden next spring come up around it and stuff through the season, because now that the house is darker, it's really going to pop everything off. So let's go check out update number 2. Just as we're passing by, you can kind of see what the motif will be in the spring. I'm going to paint the gutters out a brown. It'll look really, really good. So we're on to update number 2. Ignore my mess because today is a day of getting things together, but this entire garden was ripped out and replanted. There are 4 service berries in here now. 1, 2, that's a witch hazel, 3, and a 4th one. And I brought them in because they were not doing great out front. The deer kept eating on them. And now we have a serviceberry grove. As of right now, it's planted up naturalistically. Not all my mulch is down yet because there are areas that I have not worked on. But I came in and planted out a new grouping of plants. So we're going to see what happens come spring. This is a very troubling area because of the walnuts that grow right here. I literally have a group of 5 and they just keep spreading. So we're going to be doing some maintenance on the property next door, even though it's not ours, but we have the ability to do that, so I'm thankful. But this is going to look hopefully really, really good come next year. This back area where you can see Marlowe and it's not mulched is an area that I still need to tackle. And then this was just mulch left over from a client's project that I brought home, so I need to do along the edges, but I wanted to focus on getting the plants that were planted mulched in first, because obviously their well-being is more important. So we'll give an update on this in the spring and how it's coming along. Still got some other stuff that I want to put in, and these are going to come out. I just don't know where I'm going to put them yet. I don't want to give them up. They're eucomis. These are called Safari Night from Walter's Gardens. I just don't know where to put them yet, and I bet you those big strappy leaves would be deer food in a second. But we'll go over this area later on and give you updates about it then. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably this is gonna be my 4th attempt at recording this. Not only do I have the sound of the traffic, this microphone was being muffled so bad from that jacket that I was wearing. So at this point, I'm kind of tired of talking about these plants, but I'm gonna go through it again and show you my haul that I got. The first round of plants I'm gonna show you, I got at 50% off when it first started. This is ironically a Lowe's truck going by. This is white flowering chocolate vine. This is hardy from zones 5 to 5 to 9. Gets 20 foot tall, blooms in the spring, has interesting little seed pods from what I understand as well. Prefers partial to full sun, so it's pretty versatile. Grows really fast. I don't like a lot of plants that are white flowering, but in the spring and the fall, I'll take it because I just need color and I'm just excited at that point. So during the summer, it's a no-go for me, but since this blooms in spring, I'm thinking this might go on the back of the garage. I'm not quite sure. This is one of those plants that doesn't have a home quite yet. Start bringing up 2 at a time. Starship Scarlet Lobelia. It's going into fall color. It's getting that purple color, which is really pretty. These beautiful scarlet, almost kind of like a cherry red bloom on them. Hummingbirds will love this. I've had mixed results with the Starship series, even from seed and from growing the plant, so we'll see what happens. And then, oh, pot's getting heavy. This is Feeling Blue Deodar Cedar. This will get 5 foot tall, 10 foot wide, hardy from zones 6 to 9. Full sun, but look at this layering habit on it. And it's more of a minty blue, I would say, not a real blue. I'm not a big fan of blue conifers either, other than in like white pines. I can handle it there. I'm not a big fan of blue spruce, even though I have one in my yard, which is crazy. I wish I would have planted something else, but it's doing okay. It doesn't bother me, that one, for some reason. But this one I don't have an exact spot for. They do need a bit of shelter. They don't like a lot of wind, so it's best probably near a fence or type of a hedgerow that could protect it to break the wind, or like by the house. So we'll figure out where that one's gonna go. I ended up with 2 Hinoki cypress. So this is Jade Waves and then Slender Hinoki. This one gets 12 foot tall, 5 foot wide in about 10 years. I have one. It's not done the best for me. I'm wondering if I can do some pruning on it to get it to look better. And looking over this plant, I can see like very much the difference between new growth and old growth, so I can prune on it to keep it nice and dense. This one is actually going to replace the Jade Waves that is currently up here. So I have now 3 of these. These are hardy to zone 5 through 9 as well. Oh, sorry, 4 to 8. I think that Hinoki is also 4 to 8. So they're actually really cold tolerant. You can keep these in pots here, which is probably what's going to happen. This one will get 8 foot tall, 4 foot wide. And if you follow Erin the Impatient Gardener, which I'm sure everybody does, she has a trio of soft serve Hinoki cypress, which are from Proven Winners. And I just love that little trio she has there. And I'm hoping to replicate it with these Jade Waves out front. So I'm going to move that one out to there and do that little trio, which will work into my mixed hedge border that I'm going to do. I'm actually taking out the old, not the old, but the original plan was Green Giant arborvitaes. Some of them have croaked, some of them are just not growing. I'm going to take out the best, trash the rest, and replant them out into a few spots that a plant may have died in the hedge lineup. And I'm going to create a mixed hedge border out there so that you can still kind of see the house, but I still want to block the road during the growing season. But we like to know what the road looks like during the winter, so if we know if we want to leave the house or not. So then we move into the 75% off, because it just happened yesterday. They changed the prices, and that's when I started cleaning up a bit. I have pretty much reached my max. I have no interest of going out and looking at any other lows, so there's that. But I picked up 6 Primo Black Pearl Heuchera from Proven Winners. This one's done pretty decent for me. I've had it for 2 years now down at the fire pit in some crummy soil, and it's like mulched by to gravel. So, and it's in full sun. So I'm using these in containers for up around the front porch, which I'm gonna tackle today. I might do a video on it for later on for you to see, but probably not, because it's not gonna be anything great and wonderful. And then I also picked up, I've been raving about this. These have been showing up lately at some of the lows They're new for next year. But this is Prairie Winds Brushstroke Schizocarium. I've raved about this. I love it. Show you a clip on the screen now. This is what it's looking like right now in the season. I got 6 of those and they were pretty much trash. They look like this when I got them because of FedEx. I planted them and they look this good now. This has such good vigor. I think it's going to surpass Standing Ovation as far as a variety of plant that I use often. And that's saying a lot because Standing Ovation is just not taking on those more fall colors quickly. And I have that out in the garden, and I'll show you a view of that one right now. But I really love this, and then you just can't get past these fall colors. And another interesting thing about this, and I'll talk about that real quick and we'll move on. I noticed when it came into bloom, which, let me show you how it's looking right now. This is kind of what they do in bloom. It actually threw out blooms this height, and then it sent out a secondary set of blooms and keeps stacking, which I thought was so interesting. This one is shorter than Standing Ovation, only getting 36 inches tall, where Standing Ovation will get about 4 foot tall. So if you need that height, perfect. If you're doing a layering effect, it might be cool to layer them in together. But you can't go wrong with little blue stems. Like they're such versatile plants. So next on the list is a plant that is controversial. It's euonymus. This one does not set seed or anything. We are good there. But the other thing is some people don't like yellow variegation. I do like variegation in the yellow form. I can only think of one plant, and it's a variegated ginger that's white and green. I don't like the white variegation. This is Chalupo, yeah, euonymus. This gets 4 to 6 foot tall and wide. It's hardy down to zone 5, so it'd be good in a container here. I've been seeing this plant at the Lowe's, multiple of them, and I kept catching my eye, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a go. It was originally 23 bucks, got it for 75% off. And I think I'm gonna use this out in the mixed hedge border as kind of like a little focal point. Not quite entirely sure yet. It might replace that forsythia that I could give a crap less about. Sorry, I already have like 3 other ones. But I think this is so pretty. It's evergreen, durable plant. Can't go wrong. I talked about not liking white flowers during the summer, but in the fall and the spring I can handle it. And I want to extend the season for pollinators to be able to forage on. So I picked up a Montauk daisy. What I do like about these plants, they bloom really, really late, which is awesome. And they bloom for a long time, frost tolerant, but they have this really like succulent-like leaves. And I think this is a plant that a lot of people sleep on because they think, oh, well, they're daisy. They think it's a daisy and it's supposed to be blooming earlier. This actually blooms later. There's a bee right here trying to get on me. But they're durable, they're drought tolerant, they have that succulent-like foliage, so it's almost like a sedum. So if you want a different plant and not massive drifts of sedum, or you want to create like a sedum type effect on another area, the Montauk daisy would be a really good option for you because it has that sedum-like appearance for most of the season, and then you get the added bonus of these pretty white flowers, and the bees will absolutely love them. So I only got one of these, considering they get 26 to 36 inches tall and I think equally wide. So they're kind of a big subshrub. They do get woody, but they do take to pruning really, really well. My mother-in-law has one that I gave her forever ago. She leaves it in a pot and just keeps shearing it, and it gets denser and denser. This one I'm gonna let get hit by frost and then plant it in the spring. I'm gonna just keep it down in the basement in a dormant state. This is center stage coral crepe myrtle. I have a number of crepe myrtles from the Bloomable series, which is the Bellini series. I have grape and strawberry, and they come back as herbaceous perennials 9 times out of 10, but this past year we had a mild winter, and they did come back from old wood, and I usually don't cut them until I start seeing where new growth is coming. But I tried one of these last year after Cultivate, and it just never took. I don't know what the deal was. I waited till like almost July for the branches to do something. Not even any new growth. So this is rated 6B. We're 6B, but I also think we could possibly be 7, so I don't know what was up with it. So best bet, if you're doing something that's like right on the line of hardiness, if you can overwinter it in a safe spot to where it's like 2 zones warmer and then plant it in the spring, or if you can catch something, excuse me, like this in the spring and plant it so it has a really long time to settle in, that's your best bet. So again, I'm gonna let it get hit by frost, take it down to the basement, let it go dormant with a bunch of other stuff, and then plant it in the spring if it makes it through that winter dormancy. I talk a lot about grasses. This is grass season right now, and I'm going to show you on the screen now. I have Niagara Falls Panicum. I don't know if that truck is showing up on the microphone, but it's really, really loud. Out by the road. They're doing phenomenal. Very sturdy plants. Do not spread like open during a rain or anything like that. I genuinely think this is probably one of the best panicums on the market right now, aside from like Northwind, which is a really tall one. So I picked up 9 more of these because I got these for $3.25 a piece. I was not passing that up. I'm replacing Shenandoah that is down along the driveway. For some reason, I'm pretty sure it's Shenandoah because there's not very many panicums like this on the market in this color form. She's gotten a little taller than she's supposed to, and then she has this flopping habit, and that soil is not very rich. I don't do anything. There's no supplemental water, nothing. But for some reason, she just flops open, and I'm thinking it's because that area I'm noticing has become a wind tunnel, and that's why my birch are leaning in a weird way. So I'm going to replace them with Niagara Falls. I would suggest planting this. This is one of my top rated grasses right now. We might do a video on my top rated grasses and some of the ones that I'm growing that'll be gone. But if you've watched some of my tours, you kind of already have a heads up on that. But I couldn't resist 9 of them. I'm gonna tuck them 3, 3, 3 down the line in between the birch, and then we're actually replanting the birch, but that's another story for the spring because that's gonna be a whole load of plants. All right, 2 more plants, promise. This next one is no tag, but I know it is a Sweet Spirit Rose. This is from Bloomables. It is a cherry pink English style rose that has super intense fragrance. I did a count and I have like roughly about 10 different roses. I'm not a huge rose fan. It's not the first thing I grab, but boy, I have been going to them more because of the scent. I really want to enhance scent in the garden and that experience. So this one says it's got a good going smell on it. We're gonna find out later on, I guess. There is some new growth here, but a lot of it's already passed. We might get to see a bloom. I highly doubt it. So I'm just gonna stick it somewhere and then decide from there if it's worth it. I'll move it and put it into a prime spot. If I don't like it, it will stay over in that spot, but I'll get to go over there and enjoy the set. Maybe just use them as cut flowers. Emerald Green Giants. Nothing flashy, I get it. I'll show you the spot where we're gonna use them, but I got these. This one, I got 2 of them this height for $15. Let's move up a little bit more. And then I got these ones for $11. I need an instant hedge, and I'll take you over there real quick to show you, because we're battling, not battling, but as you can see right there, those windows, that is a office building. So during the day they're there, in the evenings are gone, but there's still a chance that they might show up there because it's for apartments, which we used to live in for 7 years, that they might need a key or whatever. And that's right outside our kitchen window, but it's also where our hot tub is. And like, if we're just having like a chill night or just want privacy, and even during the day, if we're sitting out here, I don't want them looking and seeing anything. So we're trying to build up this hedge quicker with bigger ones as we get them at a good price. So I'm gonna plant those 5 along that area. I have some, I got drip run into them. They're doing a lot better because they're competing with this Norway. But that Norway is gonna hopefully be gone next season. And we're gonna have a hedge that'll hopefully grow a lot faster and block out. But let's move on to the last few plants that are in front of the greenhouse. So the last few things that I got here are the sassafras. These are a fall blooming sassafras. The local garden center said they are not hardy here. We're not a zone 6. I don't know what she's talking about, but I do agree. I think we're closer to a zone 7. So she was going to pitch these, and I made her take 2 at least to plant in her yard to prove to her that we are a zone 6. So I'm going to give these a try. I have another one from Monrovia in the Dan Hinckley line. The name is escaping me right now, but it is getting ready to bloom now. This is a blue evergreen hydrangea. This will actually go dormant, and I will throw it down in the basement, much like the crepe myrtle, and I'm gonna bring it out in the spring and see what happens with it. I thought it was really cool. Again, she was gonna pitch it. It's only zone 8. These are strawberry begonia vines. These are hardy here, zone 6 to 9. I have planted this before, and the area that I had it, it was just not very free draining, so it kind of lagged a little bit. But they do ground cover pretty well, and they bloom a white flower. I have a lime green version I'll show you here in a second that blooms pink. It's in the greenhouse. I'm going to plant that in the spring, but I'm going to plant these just as a trial. This is Cape Fuchsia. This is a Color Burst series. I planted a bunch this year. There's so much conflicting information on the internet whether or not they're hardy or not. So again, I'm just going to try them. You know, there's no loss there. And then this dwarf mondo grass, this is Nana. I have a variety already planted along the pathway up there, and I'm just gonna pluck them in and see what happens. So let's see what else is in the greenhouse. All right, so walking into the greenhouse, I've been cleaning, moving, and everything. It's probably time to open up. Yeah, I want the greenhouse to stay within an acceptable range. I'm trying to keep it at 60 or lower, like 50 to 60 degrees. This was actually another plant that I picked up on sale. It was an $88 sago palm. That's my hint for reference. If this puppy lives, this is all new growth on it, by the way. If this puppy lives, it's going in my middle container in the garden, and that's gonna be the centerpiece plant, and then I'm gonna plant around it. But everything is looking pretty good. Where are those? Strawberry. Oh, these are the strawberry begonias I was telling you about. The lime green one does a pink bloom. It's called golden strawberry. Again, easy house plant, does survive out here. This is a zone 7 begonia, so if you're looking for something interesting in your zone, this is the fancy leaf hardy begonia, zones 7 through 9. Really pretty dark foliage on it and a pink bloom. So obviously keeping that as a house plant, but I moved everything in. I've got some cuttings going of some stuff, and we will see how this winter fares in here because I'm doing things a little different. So I think that's enough talking for me. We've shown you everything that I could possibly show you. Now I'm going to be getting into getting everything placed to where it needs to go, and then decide what my goals are for the day, because I do still have some other stuff that got taken out of this garden that we just talked about, and it's sitting over here, and some other stuff that I picked up that have not been planted, like these sweet Scentlandia clethra bushes. I really love those. Just not sure where they're gonna go quite yet, but welcome to fall. I keep hoping for a freeze because I would like to get all the dahlias put away and all the annuals that need to go into dormancy, but Mother Nature's just messing with me. So I will check back in with you later. We'll probably do a little tour once everything gets planted, maybe an update on what hasn't been planted and some of the fall color that's still going on. So hope you guys find some good deals. Hope you guys get out in your garden, and I will talk to you then.